sure to enter into our Prop Bets contest for a chance to win $200. All you need to do is be subscribed to our channel, like this video, and comment below, and you're automatically entered in. One randomly selected commenter will win $200 if we hit all of our props. Good luck out there. Let's win some money. Welcome to the Props Edge Show presented by LineStar. This is the Props Edge edition where we give you the 5 best player prop bets for championship weekend of the NFL. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. These props are all available on the PrizePicks app. If you don't already have it, make sure to download it and use the promo code BETFULLY for up to $100 of your deposit match. Go get it. Link is below, along with the promo code as well. Also, our Props Edge Plus tool is available on the LineStar app. It's what we use to find the best value in the prop market. Go check that out. Championship weekend is here. This season has absolutely flown by, but we've got the 4 best teams. This Final Four is pretty awesome. In fact, based on regular season DVOA, defensive value over average, that takes into account strength of schedule, that sort of thing. Well, in fact, this is the most balanced Final Four in nearly 25 years.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah, so we're going to get some good games, and that's also reflected in the spreads as well. I mean, this is going to be some tight games. Could be some great football. I'm grabbing my popcorn and just sitting on the couch all day on Sunday. Do you have a go-to snack? Not
really. I kind of change it up.
There you go.
Also, it's like whatever's around, you know?
Exactly. All right, let's get to our 5 best player props on PrizePicks. And we're going to start off with that Eagles-49ers game, and we're looking at Eagles wide receiver Devonta Smith over 65.5 receiving yards. Smith is averaging 70 receiving yards per game. He's gone over in 9 of 18, so 50%. He's been Hurts' top target on third down this season. He's really come up clutch for the Eagles in the playoffs, too. We've seen him last week against the Giants just have a great game, and Jalen Hurts seems to trust him. If he has to get yardage, he's going to Devonta Smith in this one. And there is some question marks about A.J. Brown and that hip injury. We don't know if that's significant at all, but if it is, then Devonta Smith's going to get those targets. The 49ers have struggled. If they've struggled anywhere on defense, it's definitely been in the secondary, where they have given up some big yardage plays, specifically to guys like DK Metcalf, and we saw it last week a little bit with CeeDee Lamb. So what is your impression of Devonta Smith's receiving yards line?
Yeah, I think Devonta Smith has just been the most trusted target over the last 4 games. He's averaging 10.8 targets per game. Versus A.J. Brown, that's only been at 8.3. You mentioned that hip. Maybe that is part of the reason. Or maybe it's just that Smith and Hurts have started to develop a little bit more rapport. Either way, San Francisco, we know they're a really good defense, but they do give up yards, allowing 181 yards to the receiver over the last 9 games. So I think being, 65, 66 yards needed, we're comfortable hitting the over here.
And the game plan for the Eagles is going to be completely different than it was against the Giants, where they kind of just ran the ball. In this one, I think everyone's kind of expecting the way this plays out is that the 49ers are going to force Jalen Hurts to start passing the ball. That's going to be the way they move that offense. And so they got some pretty good weapons for Jalen Hurts that they could take advantage of in this situation. And let's head over to Arrowhead, where we find another pretty good wide receiver, Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase. We're taking his over 84.5 receiving yards prop. Chase is averaging 85 receiving yards per game, and he's gone over this mark in 2 of the 3 games he has faced the Kansas City Chiefs. In fact, he had 97 back in Week 13 this season. Last season, he had just 54 yards in the playoffs. However, during the regular season when they faced the Chiefs, he had 266 in 2021. This Kansas City Chiefs defense is something we've been picking on all season long and have found some pretty profitable margins with that play. Wide receiver ones have done awesome against the Chiefs, have just absolutely scorched them, and we've seen it play in and week out. Zay Jones even had 83 yards last week. Christian Kirk, wide receiver 1, would have had a big gain if he didn't drop that 55-yard pass. Nonetheless, the Kansas City Chiefs rank 31st in pass defense DVOA versus the opposing team's wide receiver 1, which is why we've been hitting it all season long. So why not keep the tradition alive here in championship weekend?
Yeah, As you said, we just got to go back to what we've been doing all season long. Jamar Chase, WR1 versus KC. We've been hitting it. It's been profitable. We need to go back there. And frankly, if the Bengals want to win this game, Chase is going to have a good game.
Next up, PrizePicks has some fun combos this week. So we're looking at Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes over 542.5 passing yards. So both of their averages combined, you get 588. They've been over this mark in the 2 of the 3 games where they've faced each other. And I kind of like the over here simply because we know both of them can air it out quite a bit. And you've got Bengals, they've got some weapons there. And the Chiefs secondary hasn't been that great. What is your evaluation of this line of 542.5 for their combined pass yards?
So I did a little digging into this season for both these quarterbacks. The game total for this game is 46.5, I think last I saw. If you go back through Mahomes and Burrow's games where they scored 45 plus points, Mahomes in those games averaging 301, Burrow averaging 304. So both quarterbacks averaging over 300. I think one of these quarterbacks definitely would be hitting the over on their regular prop. I just don't know which one it is, so I feel way safer going this way.
Right. And earlier in the week, I was considering the Burrow over prop. However, it's kind of high, and he does have a decent matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs secondary that has kind of struggled to contain opposing quarterbacks. However, I like this combination. As you said, both are very capable of hitting 300 fairly easily, especially when it's going to be a shootout.
And realistically, we just need one of the two to hit 300, and this prop probably hits.
All right. Now it is time for our prop bets. Each of us is going to pick the best prop bet that we like of the week. So, Tyler, who you got?
I'm going with San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk over 44.5 receiving yards. He's averaging 68 yards a game over the last 5. He's hit in 80 games, or 80% of the games this season, over in 7 of the last 10, and with Brock Purdy, over in 5 of 7.
Yeah.
If you want to pick on the Philly D passing game, you go to the wide receiver 2, not the wide receiver 1. That's Brandon Aiyuk in the 2 spot. Let's go.
Brandon Aiyuk's been such an underrated wide receiver this season, and he's been awesome. And you could see some nice targets in this one going up against the Eagles.
I just think 44.5 is too low.
He has a tough matchup.
He
for
does.
Sure. However, he's a talented wide receiver that definitely doesn't get enough credit, especially in some of the lines, getting disrespected by the sports books week in and week out. So why not take advantage of it?
The other thing is the Eagles need to do whatever they can to stop the running game. If they let the 49ers run, the game's over before it started.
Well, I'm going to the Eagles. Tight end Dallas Goedert, over 45.5 receiving yards. Goedert's averaging 58 receiving yards per game. He's gone over in 9 of 13 games this season. 6'5", 250, just barreling defenders. Had a great game last week. It's been kind of the season of the tight ends. I feel like week in and week out, it's receiving yards, it's touchdown props. I see Dallas Goedert playing a big role if they make it to the Super Bowl. It's because of guys like Dallas Goedert, who, when healthy, is an absolute game wrecker. And San Francisco 49ers, they're just 13th in pass defense DVOA versus opposing tight ends. It's a great defense, but Goedert will find a way to get involved in this offense. So I like the over here at 45.5 receiving yards because, quite frankly, I think that's too low for Goedert's talent level. And you might say, oh, well, they're a really good defense. Well, he's had 45 or more against Dallas and the New Orleans Saints. Both are in the top 3 in pass defense DVOA versus tight ends. So I'm comfortable here going with Goedert. The tight ends have been killing it for me lately.
Yeah, they have.
They've been doing awesome. All right, let's recap our picks here on the PrizePicks app. We're going Jamar Chase over 84.5 receiving yards. Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes combining for over 542.5 pass yards. Devonta Smith over 65.5 receiving yards. Brandon Aiyuk over 45.5 receiving yards. And Dallas Goedert over 45.5 receiving yards. Make sure to tail us on the PrizePicks app, and if you don't already have the PrizePicks app, make sure to download it. Use our promo code BETFULLY for up to $100 of your deposit match. It's a great way to place those prop bets because it is legal in most states. And they've got some really great combos that are fun stuff for the championship weekend. It's kind of fun. We've already put in some of our props for the weekend, so go do that. Also, the LineStar app, check it out. We've got a Props Edge Plus tool. That's what we're using to pick out the best props. So let's go win some money. Last week, we were 3 of 5 on PrizePicks. So looking to finish the season off on a high note here. Let's go get it. Go win some money. Good luck to you. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.